I am safe. I am enhanced. I am supported. All is well.
Happy day, happy day. I am Erica Kesse, a love force with mysterious wisdom, celebrating life, and welcome to Try on Thriving. So, a part of the show is I would like to share just bits about the Thrive Plan because I am a big advocate for everyone to get a Thrive Plan, kind of like Oprah. You get one, you get one, you get one. I just feel like everyone in the world um, should have one. Every child, every person, every business owner, every mother, people should have Thrive plans because why not have a plan to allow you to thrive? Again, I'm going to explain what a Thrive plan is. It's a quick self-awareness reflection with an operating system. So a lot of us come from circumstances where you are conditioned to behave in a certain way based on the people who are influencing you, your leaders, your parents, your grandparents, your culture, right? And so you then need to be able to create a plan for yourself. And that is so important to be able to make a plan for yourself that is personalized. So it's a personalized and strategic plan that identifies your vulnerabilities or triggers, your coping skills, your self care items, and your social support system. So the plan invites you to move from trigger sensations into coping skills before doing your instinctual behavior of a trauma response. And so you can go get your own Thrive plan by going to bit.ly, period, ly/ try on thriving, and you can get your own Thrive plan today. You can actually go ahead and pull that up while you're listening to me because I'm actually going to share. I have been able to collect several Thrive plans. So I have over 500 Thrive plans that I've collected over the time frame. So I started creating, or I created the Thrive plan in about 2018 when I lost a child. And so I've been doing it with my clients, but most recently, I've been using it with CEOs and entrepreneurs. So I'm going to look at right now as part of this podcast is to review a Thrive plan. One of the Thrive plans that I have here, I'm going to pull them up, and I'm going to share what I'm getting, and then I'm going to talk about what I have been able to discover from all of these Thrive plans that I've done. Okay, so there's like individuals that you will learn kind of where you fit in how you move in the world. So let me just say that the Thrive Plan is an operating system. It shows you how to command yourself to thrive by getting into the practice of caring for and soothing yourself immediately with the help of accountability. All right. So I'm looking at a Thrive plan right now, and it says here. It says at the very top. First, let's identify your trauma responses. So it's important to understand how you respond to conflict. So when a conflict occurs, you just ask yourself as you're listening in on this, and as you're watching, when a conflict occurs, what is your response? What do you do automatically? What do you do instinctually? And so the person on here said that they fight. Fight is to meaning that they aggressively push to complete or handle situations, even if they neglect themselves. They also said that they freeze. Freeze means that you're overthinking, overanalyzing, and procrastinating. So you do not make decisions. So that's what they said was there too, fight and freeze. But I don't know if you know this, but I wanted to also share the other options here are flight, flop, and fawn. So with flight, you're going to run from the situation, you're going to ignore it, and you're going to avoid it. When it is flop, you're going to um, basically go lay down, fall out, you know, fall into sadness or depressed mood. So you're unable to respond. And then there is fawn. Fawn is when you are apologizing to people. You want to people please. You want to attempt to be the peacemaker to manage other people's emotions. So those are all of the trauma responses that are available. Okay. And so this person chose fight and freeze. So let's go further in. So then let's get into the vulnerabilities and the triggers. So that is the automatically response that they're doing. But of course, as we said, the Thrive plan is for you to stop that from happening. So you need to understand what it feels like when conflict shows up so that you won't move into the trauma response. So triggers are any circumstances that make you feel uncomfortable. These triggers cause physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual responses that can be overwhelming. So if you have your Thrive plan pulled up, you can go ahead, go to bit.ly/your oh, sorry, not your Thrive plan. That used to be a way. You can go there as well, but go to Try on Thriving. Try on Thriving. bit.ly/Try on Thriving. So, what is your physical response? So this person responded and said they have heart pounding and racing. It happens to them. All right. And then let's go into what happens mentally. They say that there's self-sabotage, forgetfulness, they're self-critical, they're overanalyzing, they're sealing up and pushing away emotion. So that's what's happening mentally, right? What's happening emotionally? There's sadness, they feel tricked. And then lastly, what's happening spiritually? They feel loneliness and isolation. So these are the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual things that they marked on their Thrive plan that happens when they're in conflict. So now with this information, this self-knowledge, right? When these things show up, okay, these particular things, they know that instead of going to their trauma response, which is to fight and to freeze, they need to instead go into their coping. So coping skills are self-loving behaviors that are healthy, gentle, and kind. So these are activities to be practiced and mastered as tools to use as soon as the sensation or the sense of the initial stages of the trigger. So as soon as they really register, oh, I'm feeling loneliness. Oh, I am being forgetful. Oh, I am having heart palpitations and my heart is pounding. Then they will then go into their coping, and they mark the coping that they're doing right now is deep belly breathing. They talk with a safe friend. They jog or walk. They cook, they exercise, and they rest. It's the things that they say that they do for their coping. So wonderful. These are great. There are several other coping skills that can be done, as you can see on your Thrive plan, because you have it pulled up, right? You can go there by going to bit.ly/try on thriving. Okay. So those is a whole list, and then you can put in other things if you're filling this out for yourself as well. So they put these things down. Now, the goal is to feel the sensations of the trigger or because of the conflict, and then cook something because they say that's what soothes them, or exercise, or rest, or jog, or talk to a safe friend. And one reason I like that they mentioned that that's a way that they cope, because a lot of people use other people for their coping. Now, I will say it's very important that you have the right fit people who are working with you. So a social support system person is someone, so being connected is our lifeline and power. So we need to make sure we have people in our life who are our biggest fans, right? They offer you unconditional love. love that accepts your strengths and your weaknesses, as well as challenge you to be a better version of yourself. Okay. This individual should be informed of their imperative role in your life. Like, so this is about being very intentional with your well being by being intentional about letting people know that you have signed them on to be a social support system person. So this person is told about your vulnerabilities, your responses, and how they can be beneficial to you. And if you feel like anyone in your life that you say that you're a social support system person, they are unable to know your vulnerabilities and responses, right? You can't be truly and fully honest with them, right? You can't trust them with this information, then they are not a social support system person, period. I just need to make sure I reiterate that. If you are unable to be vulnerable, share your responses, and let them know how it is to truly be like, truly be you in this world in your conflict, then they're not a social support system person. They are responsible for reminding you of your coping skills. They are responsible for doing them with you and also holding you accountable to healthy life bringing behaviors. So you then have your Thrive plan. Once you have completed all of that, then you have a Thrive plan. And so I will say that this particular person, Thrive plan I'm looking at, they put down one person. And let me just talk more about that. A lot of people only have one person. For them to have one person is great. Some people don't have anyone that can fit the criteria of what I said a social support system person is. So it's important for us to come to that realization as well as we're doing this Thrive plan, so that you can really go out and interact with people who actually are supporting you. Like, have a support system or people around you who really do support you, not people who are not really doing it. Like, they don't have the capability, capacity to do it for you. And so you may be asking, so how do I build those people? It's so great because a lot of my clients have this. Like, they went through this Thrive plan. They are good. They know that when they're triggered, they know how to go to their coping, right? But that whole social support system piece is just one that is one of the concerns that they have. And they go through a lot of relational trauma in working through and finding that those right fit people. But I would say, you all, easy ways to find your right fit people is to go do what you love. So, for example, this person said they like to jog and walk. Well, then maybe they need to join a walking or jogging group, right? They like to exercise. Maybe they can interact with people who are at the gym. That person likes that. They like cooking. Maybe they should do a cooking class. So then they can meet some people who like cooking, right? They say they like resting. Maybe they need to go to a retreat space and maybe meet somebody because they go out and rest. Maybe they say they do deep belly breathing. Maybe they need to go into a meditation group or a group that talks about breath work, right? So you see how we are then taking our coping skills and we're the things that allow us to feel soothed. We go do those things, and other people also are doing these things. They're going and doing those things, and you can possibly find your social support system people that can at least bring you back to your coping skills, right? And then you can also vet them for other components of your life. So I hope that this was beneficial. Please write in the comments if this is beneficial to you, if you enjoyed hearing about a Thrive plan. This is a Thrive plan from a business owner. So I will be doing business owners, CEOs that have completed a Thrive plan and what it looks like. I will say lastly, before I go, that it is from all the Thrive plans that I've done, the number one trauma response that people say that they have is fight, right? And we can kind of talk about that more as we move on, because I feel like, well, I know that people mark that because that seems to be a more acceptable response, because society tell us to continue to push through, persevere, pressure things to happen, right? So that's our response as well to things from conditioning. But then this person said freeze. But the number one thing that people say is fight. So when I have people to complete this Thrive plan later, they come to understand that fighting is not necessarily the way they want it to go, because it is neglecting themselves. But what other responses is showing up in you that you're naturally going to? Maybe it is something else, and it's something to process and think about. So this helps you to know that the Thrive Plan is not just one time thing. You should do it at least every 6 months. Just go through, because we're evolving, we're changing, right? And the more that you become tuned into yourself and to how you're operating in the world, and you ultimately working your Thrive plan, it's going to look different. You're going to have more coping skills on there. Yeah, you're going to have a more attuned social support system, and your trauma responses would alleviate more, and you won't be in them so long. You won't sit in the despair. You'll move into your coping, so that you can make the right decisions for yourself. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Another thing is, a lot of people marked on the Thrive plan is their coping skill is music. Like, I have like a resounding amount of people who said that music was their coping skill. So I just wanted to say that that is definitely one that it's just interesting to know the results of this and how people are coping with the conflict that's going on in their lives. And it's important for people around them to know that's what they are doing, because the way that it works is your social support system person will reach out, will come, respond to you when you're wanting to reach out because you're dysregulated, and then they can say, hey, I know your favorite song is blah blah blah, or how about we sit and listen to one of your favorite songs right now, and you just stopping that stream of conflict and just soothing yourself with a song and someone holding space for you really does make a big difference in your life. So I hope that you all were able to pull up the Thrive Plan, bit.ly, bit.ly/try on thriving to get your Thrive Plan today. And I will be sharing more of these Thrive Plans in the next episode. So I will alternate between having a guest on that's a CEO, and then reviewing a Thrive plan, and then a guest and reviewing the Thrive plan. Just to let you know, that's what it's going to be like on this podcast, which is Try on Thriving. You all create a thriving rest of your day. Bye.
I